Hey, what's up?
Ah, I'm up.
You're up?
Yes.
How was your week?
My week so far has been meh. My allergies. God damn
Oh
it.
my God,
Fall allergies is the
it's
worst.
that time of the year already. I think it started early because, well, I mean, we're in October now, but
Yeah.
it kind of the weather has been up and down, warm and cold. So
Yeah.
I don't even know if fall really starts, but yeah, the allergies are
Yeah.
in
It don't
and stuff.
affect me spring, but fall allergies. I think because you're taking out all of the winter clothes now and the dust and the lint and the
Yeah.
everything. It's driving me crazy all week.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But here we are today,
Here we are.
another episode of the chat.
Yes. I'm Jay. I'm Jay.
Obviously, you know who I am. Okay, but yeah, today we have a very important topic. For you, when we discussed the topic, you were like, that's not exciting. I don't think we should be
Yeah.
talking about that.
Yeah.
But I guess after laying out another way and convincing you, here we are today.
I mean, every topic can be fun. It's how the foundation is laid. So,
Right.
you can just make it fun and spicy.
So-
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
So, we're talking about, having a business, being an entrepreneur. Am I saying the word right? Because
Entrepreneur, yeah.
struggle to say that word sometimes,
Yeah.
versus a 9 to 5 job.
All right. So today we're talking about business, owning a business, entrepreneur
Yeah.
versus 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But even though it's that, I don't even think I want to word it versus
Yeah.
9 to 5 because I feel like when you do it that way, it's like saying one is better
True.
than one,
Okay, so
or
let's
one is
reverse.
good and one is bad.
Let's rewind
So
and come again.
so what we're basically doing is
What it's
touching
like to work a
9 to 5
9 to 5
versus
and
a business.
versus owning your business.
Even though I still use the word versus,
What it's
but
like working a 9 to 5
and
what
what
it's
is like
like
having a
having
business.
a business.
So at the end of this chat or discussion, I'm not really telling somebody, okay, then do 9 to 5 or own a business,
Yeah.
but it's you assessing what we've said, what we've
Yeah.
discussed,
Yeah.
and then you for yourself decide, you want to do 9 to 5 or business because we both have worked in both areas,
Yeah.
which would be an advantage in this conversation
And
because we can give perspectives
Yeah, and some
of
people
both
still have
sides.
their 9 to 5 and have their business.
Right. So yeah. So we'll just jump into it. Today we don't have no card.
Yeah, we
It's
have no
less-
cards today. We wanted to just have a regular conversation.
Yeah.
Not, we just didn't want to make it like an interview this week. We wanted to try something, different, spice
Yeah.
it up a little bit.
So let's see where we're starting. 9 to 5.
Okay.
You've worked a 9 to 5
Yes.
job.
Yes.
What was it like?
So I've had many 9 to 5 jobs. My first 9 to 5 job was at a Halloween store.
How the hell I've never? It's the first.
No, I told
Is it
you.
no? It's the first I'm hearing the Halloween store.
Yeah, so let me tell you, I was living in New York. I worked at a
Oh
Halloween
my
store.
God.
Okay, it was my first
Of all the
job
things.
in the US. Working at a Halloween store. That's before I went to beauty school and
So
everything.
that's like seasonal.
It was a seasonal job.
Okay.
Right? But it's my
Right.
first.
Right,
like,
right.
9 to 5. Well, it wasn't 9, you go in 9 to 5. I was there like from 8 to 4
Mm-hmm.
different times. But it's a typical 9 to 5. But so at first I was just a cashier. I liked it. I was excited. And then one day my manager said to me, we need someone to go on the highway in a costume.
To go on the highway,
Well, not on the highway, on the main
the main road.
the main road. In Long Island where Green Acres Mall is, Green
Yeah,
Acres
yeah,
Mall,
yeah.
like so that like it's not a highway, but it's like a busy strip. And he wanted me to go in with a
So
costume.
hold on. So which costume they put you in?
It was a pink gorilla.
Oh Lord, a pink gorilla.
And I had no shame because no one could see my face.
There you
okay,
go.
I was a best gorilla.
Yeah, I think people who do like a mascot, because I would say that's kind of a mascot.
Yeah.
I think it's like a free thing because nobody can see your face, so
Nobody.
there's no. I mean, there's
Yeah.
no reason to be nervous or
Yeah.
shy or
And
embarrassed.
then when another time I was in the mall, but I just had on like a kitten ear, giving out like coupons to come buy Halloween clothes and stuff. It was a fun job. I
Yeah,
had
I'm
fun
sure.
there. I was making like $7 and something. But I was what, 19,
Yeah, and it's your first job, so I
19,
mean,
20. Yeah.
unless you really needed money, then
It was my
it wouldn't bother
first
you.
real job in the US.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then I worked at Things Remember from there as another
I
seasonal
know that.
job.
I love that. I love that
Yeah, so I
company.
left from the Halloween. I'm like, okay, Halloween done. I need another job. So I walked into the mall and I asked them, "Are you hiring?" So they said, "Yes, you could start next week." So I worked at Things
Nice.
Remembered for the season. When January came about, they're like, "We gotta cut
Cut.
people
Yeah,
off."
cut. That's how the seasonal
So I'm
jobs
like,
work.
okay, what am I gonna do now? I'm home doing nothing. That's when I was home talking about I want to create my salon ice and all of those things.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I enrolled
Okay.
myself into beauty school.
Nice. Nice.
And then
Nice.
it all, but even though I went to beauty school, when I left beauty school, I didn't, I gained a lot of experiences. We did the fashion shows, we did photo shoots and stuff. I still did not get into a salon immediately. I didn't want to go into a salon because after experiencing fashion and all those things, like who wants to be in a
Yeah.
salon? So to pay my bills and because I have to pay my because I had to take out a loan to go to beauty school. It wasn't cheap. And so I worked at Lord and Taylor. So that's how I became like the BCBG specialist
All right.
there.
So so you now outline your first 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
That was before you thought about JSB
Yes,
Cosmetics.
way before
All right.
JSB Cosmetics.
Mine is kind of different
Yeah.
because after finishing college, in my head, my goal was like, I'm gonna start my own business.
Yeah.
I'm not working for nobody whatsoever. That was my goal, and it wasn't like it was a knock against regular because I've never had a regular job. So it wasn't like I'm saying, oh, I don't want that because it was just working, having a degree, going to college in the creative field. Your first instinct as a creative is to start your own business.
Yeah.
Not necessarily want to work for a company because even if I wanted to work in media, my dream job was always to work for ESPN or
Oh,
Disney Channel
nice.
because I grew up loving.
I
Oh,
wouldn't
hold on.
mind
So
working
so
for
it was
Disney.
three. It was ESPN, Disney Channel, CNN. Those were the three companies on my list that if I should work, I would want to work for them. But I'm like, I've always wanted to do my own thing. Put my own stamps. I thought about having my own business, so I started my business, the magazine and stuff. And it was a couple years before I did my first 9 to 5 job. So we kind of gonna jump in a different realm now in
So
explaining.
so you never had a 9 to 5 job?
No,
Oh.
never.
Wow.
In college, I worked for the TV station and stuff.
But wasn't that
I
like a
mean,
nine to
it was
five?
like a 9 to 5, but I was still in school.
So it was like an internship.
It was like student workers. In college,
Okay. So you
you
weren't
have
getting paid
I
and
was
stuff.
getting paid,
Oh.
but it wasn't like okay, college is done. It's just working. It
But
was both.
but you had to be there at what time?
It was kind of a 9 to 5,
Exactly.
but it wasn't 9 to 5 because just to me, we were there until sometime 1 a.m., 2 a.m.,
No,
3 a.m.
but okay, so
But
nine
it
to
was
five.
considered a 9 to 5.
Yeah, but 9 to 5 is not necessarily nine to
It's fine.
five. It's like
All right. So
being
it
an
was,
employee.
but what I'm referring to is finishing college, no, just working.
Yeah.
Because after I finished college, I left that job because I was leaving, and that's when I moved here in America. So now coming here, I kind of had like a clean slate. So I'm just talking from that
Yeah.
perspective. Now I started my business. My first 9 to 5 job was with Geek Squad
Okay.
because no, because when I had my business, it was going okay, but and this is the next important part. It was like my business was going good, but I wasn't enjoying it because no, you had the responsibilities
Bills
of
and stuff.
bills and all of that stuff, and it wasn't making enough money for me to comfortably cover bills and have that clear creative mind and
Yeah.
freedom to just think clear. So I was like, damn, I had to do something now to make life easier on the creative side. So that's when I started looking for 9 to 5 job. But then I wasn't, just looking for any job. I wanted something that was still within my area, my interest. So the Geek Squad, interested me because as I've always been interested in computers, fixing computers, building, solving computer problems and stuff like that. So Geek Squad was a perfect job. So I did that, and then my next job after that was like a total different
Yeah.
field. I worked in medicine, where I worked in surgery.
Okay.
So
Nice.
like a lot of people didn't know because a lot of people just knew me for fashion
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So when I made that transition, and all within that time, I still had my business. So it wasn't like it was just that 9 to 5 job. Even though I was working, I was still, most of my energy was still, in my business. So I worked in the hospital for 5 years, and then I quit when last year
Yeah.
to focus on my business full time.
Okay.
So that was my 9 to 5 experience.
So, with me with my 9 to 5, it's I enjoyed some of the jobs. Like I enjoyed working at things. Remember, because I was still able to create stuff. I liked working at Lord and Taylor, being the BCBG specialist because it was still fashion.
Right.
So I was still kind of, even though I wasn't doing hair or makeup, like I was still in that realm.
Right.
Then when I left that BCBG, I started focusing on my business fully. Then I had my baby. Then I took a break, and then such and such. But my worst 9 to 5 job was working at the bank. That
Oh,
job
man.
is the worst. I don't know anybody else's experience at the bank, but working at the bank, I won't say the bank, but it's my worst. It's the best paying job I've ever had. No, BCBG was the best paying job, but that was a good paying job, especially with my bonuses and stuff. But the environment was very toxic, was very it was like a boys club
Yeah.
over there. So I felt very uncomfortable. I had anxiety, I was depressed, everything.
You see, because no, that's where the verses part come in.
Yeah.
Because no, as you explained, you had anxiety. You weren't enjoying
I
it.
wasn't. But the thing is, you get anxiety owning your business too and depression.
Right.
But the thing is, that's yours and you love it and you enjoy
you have-
it.
you
But
have
having
total
someone
control.
over you
Right.
every day, you need to meet this deadline, this and that, and they make it seem like the world is gonna end. Like I feel like some night being an employee sometimes is very rough and toxic, especially if the environment is toxic.
Right.
Because me, like I would never have employees and make them feel like they're less than.
All right.
And that's how I felt.
So
working
so
at
so is it
place.
that then, as a person? I mean, you're my friend. I know you.
Yeah.
But do you feel like you are more of a person who like to be a leader, or like to be a team player where you work for a company, you're on a great team, and you just put in your work to get for the greater good of whatever the job is?
I don't like lead. The word leader is good, but I feel like in order to be a good leader, you have to be a great team player.
Right.
So I feel like most jobs like managers, employers, they need to work on being a great team player in order to be
To be a-
respected as a
right.
leader.
So that's the thing now, where in which
Yeah.
it brings us back to the 9 to 5. So now we'll put in the verses, the 9 to 5 versus own
Yeah.
your own business, because I think for both of us
Yeah.
having that experience, it helps because
A lot.
working a 9 to 5 job, you learn how to be a great team player,
I learned how to deal with
how to deal
customers,
with customers, time management, and all of that stuff.
deadlines.
So now getting that experience, now say your ultimate goal is owning a business, because we have to understand that as why you can't really force certain things on certain people, because different people have different makeup,
Yeah.
different personalities,
And not
and
everybody
different
wants to own a
aim.
business.
Right. So that's where I'm
Yeah.
getting to, different aims. So you might have Sheila, who just, a really relaxed, cool person. She's not a creative.
Yeah.
She's not an entrepreneur. She don't really
Yeah.
have any aspirations of owning a business. She just want to enjoy life, make money, care for her family and stuff. Then her place, so to speak, is in a 9 to 5 job, and she enjoys it. She live a great life
Yeah.
and enjoy it. No, you can't say me being Bill. I don't know why I chose Bill, but I want to own a business. I want to run my own company and all of that stuff. So, I go, I set out, I do that. No, Bill isn't better than Sheila, because Sheila works a 9 to 5 job and Bill owns a business. It's your calling.
Yeah.
It's your whatever you want to do for yourself. So you have people who will work 9 to 5 job for their entire life
Yes.
until they retire, and they don't feel like they're less of a person, or they're not ambitious, because they're, for every job somebody is needed.
Yes.
What if everybody was like, you know what, I'm gonna own a business?
Yeah. Nobody would work.
Where
for
do you
nobody.
like to go to eat?
You can't go anywhere.
No.
'Cause- oh,
Where
me?
do you like to go to eat?
Where do I like to go?
Just
Damn.
pick one off the bat. It don't have to be nothing fancy.
I like the view in Manhattan. You know, the
All
rotating
right,
building.
you're gone too far now. So
What do you mean we gone too
McDonald's.
far?
Say you're going. You're going.
Alright. No, alright.
Because
Me love Popeyes.
Popeyes, good. Say everybody said they wanted to start their business.
Yeah.
You pull up to Popeyes. There's nobody at the drive-through or in the store, because everybody wants to own their own
Then I
business.
have machine.
See, no, the world is out of whack and unbalanced. I'll never bash a person who works a 9 to 5 job, or any job whatsoever, because everybody plays a role in the whole life cycle of the world. As I said, not everybody have the aspiration
To own a business.
to own a business, and there's nothing wrong with that, because we're all pieces of the puzzle. But going where you fit in, and going where your talents and skills are more productive.
Yeah, but
That's how I look at it. So for me, as a creative, if the best way to maximize my skills and talent and knowledge is to own a business, then go for that. For you, if the best way to maximize your skills and talent and knowledge is to work for Citibank, as a great team player, and helping people, advising people on finances and stuff, then go there. It doesn't make none of us better, because we both need each other. Me as a business partner need you as a
employee,
bank,
yes,
a teller, banker,
consumer.
whatever, because I need to bank money and stuff. So we all play a role in the whole life cycle of life.
So, okay, so, when it comes to, a regular 9 to 5, I feel like a lot of people really want to have their business and really want to own their business, but that fear of not having that weekly check,
Right.
like every Friday or every Thursday, I'm getting paid.
Right.
And some people don't want to give that comfort away, but sometimes you have to be uncomfortable to go after your dreams, because comfort will keep you in places you should never stay.
Right.
And that's the case with, a lot of 9 to 5, employees, because they don't want to just give up that comfort. And you have some people who have their 9 to 5 job. As you said, they're comfortable with their lifestyle. They don't want nothing else but to just climb that corporate ladder and keep it at that.
Right.
And It's not for everybody.
you mentioned something important, and that's what, and I really want to touch on that,
What is that?
where you say, some people aren't comfortable in
Giving up that weekly check.
giving up that weekly check
Yeah.
to jump to a business. But this is what I'll say to that is true, but at the same time, you have to know and understand where you're at financial, and
That's
because
true.
you are the only person that knows internally what's going on in your life. So if I have a 9 to 5 job and I don't want to give up the weekly check, and you be like, hey, just step out your comfort zone and just go for it. I have to take that as constructive information, go to the drawing board and say, okay, then, can I afford to do this?
Yeah, but you wouldn't just walk away from a weekly check without a plan.
Yeah, some people, that's kind of the message, like just step out
No,
on
no,
on the
no,
limb,
never do that.
because
Never
at
do
the
that.
end of the day, as we mentioned earlier, your bills have to be paid. You have to
Yeah,
eat. You have to have a
course.
shelter over your head. So my thing is, which I did, is I did the 9 to 5, so that covered my bills, that covered most of my expenses, and now gave me a lee room to now put in work into my business without expecting a check at the end of the month or at the end of the week from my business. If I get money, good, that's the goal. If I don't, I'm fine, because I have something to fall back on. And that allowed me, which is very important, that allowed me to be creative,
Yes.
because now I'm not worrying about finances and money. I'm
Focus
focusing
on being
on
creative.
being creative, putting in the work, putting out great product,
Yeah.
so that down the road or right away can give me a good return.
Yeah.
And then that's why I was able to now leave my 9 to 5 job, because after putting in that work, and now my business was able to sustain itself
Yeah.
and sustain me, I was now able to say, okay, then all right, 9 to 5, you did your part, you did your job,
but the thing
and
is,
then now I could now give myself 100% to my business and
some
move
people can't
forward.
do that. Some people can't 9 to 5 and side hustle. Some people cannot do both. And some business you can't have a 9 to 5 job and work on that business. Some business don't work like that. Some business you have to be there. But this is how I did, because
Eventually, 'cause I just remember something.
yeah, because let me tell you, because
My other friend Zaida said to me, because she was like, because she said she was looking for another job, and I'm like, how many jobs are you looking for? How many jobs do you have?
Yeah.
So she explained her concept, which was funny, but it's kind of cool, because she said she wanted a job that she can go in and work, and then she wanted a second job that she don't have to do much work, so she can sit. So you have 2 jobs, bringing in 2 income, but you extend yourself for one, the other you can relax. So it's not two. So she was like, she trying to find 2 jobs that work well together. I'm like, how would you find that? But then when she explained to me, I'm like, that makes sense. And it kind of goes back to the point where, if you're gonna find a 9 to 5 job that would be conducive to your business, like what I did when I was working at the hospital, I worked overnight. I worked 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. So, and it kind of worked, because in surgery, we didn't have scheduled surgery. So they're nice, then it would be busy, and they're nice when we have no surgeries at all.
but that don't
So
work for everybody.
I know it doesn't work, but what I'm saying is, if you're gonna step out in that light, so don't just probably jump to the first job you get.
But some
try to
people
find
have
a
to
job.
take the first job they get, because
I
some
mean-
people aren't qualified for every job, and some jobs aren't easy to get. But this is my thing.
Not
gonna
that they
use myself.
can. You can. It just will take you a little more searching time.
Yeah, but some people need that job right now.
So then, if they need a job right now, focus on one thing. Then focus on that job, right? And then while you have that job right now, then you
Focus on get. That's what I'm getting to.
Looking
So,
for another
example,
job.
With me, I was working at the bank, or I was working when I was working at Lord and Taylor. I still did JSB. So what I used to do when I was working at Lord and Taylor on my lunch breaks, I would, go out on my lunch breaks and I would go do a quick makeup for a photo shoot. Because when you're doing photo shoots in the city, everything has to go fast.
Right, right.
So it's like location to location to location. So when I know when I put my jobs around my location around Lord and Taylor, and Bryant Park is right there. They're doing whatever they're doing in Bryant Park. I'm like, I could just walk out the door of Lord and Taylor and go straight over there. Boom, 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 hair, makeup, blah, blah, blah. Back, I may be a half hour late after my lunch. And, sometimes I get in trouble, sometimes I don't. And that's what I didn't like. The restriction that I had working at a 9 to 5, I had no freedom.
Right.
I couldn't plan my life. I had to be on their schedule. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I get it, but
So,
it takes
yeah, it takes a lot of work.
some
So,
planning and
yeah,
pushing around and get in where it works for you.
yeah, so with me now, what I did while I was working at my job to open my store, I wanted to secure months of rent just
Right.
in case business is slow, and I have support. The
Right.
most important thing when you're starting a business,
Having
you
support.
you should always have support. If you don't have an extra backup plan, or honestly, if you are willing to start a business, you're gonna take that leap of faith. And you said, okay, I want to focus 100% on my business. I say you want to get a storefront, right? Not every business needs a storefront, but some people want a storefront because it's more exposure and blah, blah, blah. I honestly would tell someone, have at least a year rent put aside.
That makes sense.
That's the safest way to go. Have a year rent, and no matter what goes on with the business, you still have your rent, a year rent, and get us a place where your rent is comfortable, where you're not stressed
Right.
if you have a bad month to pay that rent. But what I did, I have support, so I had a few months rent, like more than a few months. Like I had the rent put aside just in case things didn't work out. But while I was working, I still did Uber on the side.
Right.
And when I opened my store, every day I closed the store for a good 3-4 months. I was still doing Uber,
Right.
because I did not want to just rely 100% on the business, because it's a brand new. I'm new here. Open my business. I just wanted to be safe.
Yeah.
Then when it got overwhelming and stuff, I'm like, you know what? I'm comfortable enough to just walk away
No,
from
no,
this,
you
and
can drop things by
yes,
the
no, I
way.
could just eliminate something, because I have support. If I
Right.
didn't have support, I probably couldn't have opened my business when I
That,
did.
that's an important thing
You
also
understand?
in support.
So yeah, so it's important to have support, have backup plans when you're doing your business. That's what you want to do. If you don't want to have a business, because it's not for everybody. Business is not for everybody.
Right.
A lot of people think they can have a business and I can do that. Oh, I see you doing it. I can do it. I can probably do it better. But when you get in it, business is patience. You have to have faith. Oh my God. If you have no faith when you open your business, you already failed.
Yep. Faith is a
Because you're
huge
not
part of
gonna
it.
always, unless you have a big following on social media, and sometimes you have a big following and you still don't get support. You have to have faith, patience. Because I'm telling you, having a business
And purpose.
on purpose. Having a business will have you in depression, anxiety, because some months things don't work the way you want. And besides, even if everything is working, you have overheads, you got to worry about employees, you got to worry about finding the right employees. And trust me, finding the wrong employee can screw your business up the worst
That's
way.
true.
Okay?
That's
You
true.
rather just do it by yourself.
Right.
And
I've experienced that.
right, and so it's a lot of things that goes into starting that business. But the most important thing to do, if you have an idea and you say, you know what, one day I'm gonna start, I honestly believe people should register their business name. Just
Okay.
lock that in, trademark
So
that,
so
lock
so
that in.
that kind of, because in my head I was like, I was gonna ask you something that kind of goes in line with what I was gonna ask you.
Real quick, another thing I would recommend, and because there's a lot of things I wish I had done better before I opened my store. And
Right.
so real
So
quick,
I'll just say what I was going to say so you can keep.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you then, because we're leaning towards the business part as entrepreneurs. So I was going to ask you, what advice would you give to people who are thinking of starting a
So-
business?
if you're thinking about starting a
Because you
business,
mentioned registering, and that
yeah.
kind of triggered, that
So
thought in my
if you're
mind.
thinking about starting a business, I would say start cautiously. And this is, but let me explain myself.
Explain the cautiously
So
part.
say you want to start a makeup brand, like I did. Still have your 9 to 5 or whatever job you have, still have it. But on your days off, on the weekends, if you can, because not everybody get a weekend, but you have at least 1 weekend a month, do pop-up shops. Ask other business owners if they could come, if you could go in their business space and do pop-up. If you have to give them something out of whatever you make, do that. But start. And the way to start for me, it's not for everybody, but my start is not, oh, let me just buy products and start selling. My start is sit down, think about what type of business you want, first of all, would like to have. Give yourself a deadline, a timeline, not deadline, a timeline of when you want to start. When you come up with the name and the concept of the business that you want to create, I would say always trademark your logo.
That's true.
Because
I'm
if
with you.
you're thinking about it, 20 million other people
People
is thinking
thinking about
about
the
it.
same thing, yeah.
The same thing. So lock that in there.
Lock it in. 'Cause
Okay.
trust me.
And if you can, register your business because
Now, if you can, especially in today's time, it's a
Yeah.
requirement and it's needed because even with like Instagram and anyone,
Yeah.
Instagram, Apple with
Any
Apple
social media,
Podcasts,
yeah.
YouTube,
You need to have
once
a
it
legit
comes to
business.
monetizing,
Yeah.
you need to have an EIN
Yeah.
and a business information.
And
So
that's the thing. An EIN is so easy to get, it's so cheap to get. But I would recommend anyone to register their business,
Right.
even if you're not in full business.
Right, just
your business,
register
because
and have it.
There are benefits you can get.
A lot of benefits.
And you know what I mean. And then when you're doing your little pop-up shops, not little, big, because pop-up shops are a big thing. When you're doing your pop-up shops and stuff, that's your business.
Yeah,
you're
it
in
is.
business.
It is.
You know what I mean. So if you want to start a business, still doing your 9 to 5, start. Don't say next year, next week, next month. I'm gonna think about it. Start, because you see when that bug hits you and you know, jump on it. When you have that excitement, take advantage of that excitement.
That's true.
You know what I
Agree.
mean? Don't and the worst thing to do is start a business because you see someone else doing that business. Do something that you know, no matter what,
Yeah.
you're gonna still love doing that business, because business is hard. Like there are days and months I'm slow, okay? But I love what I do. So it doesn't bother me in a negative way. It bothers me, but not in a way like, oh my God, I'm gonna give up.
I get it. So that part kind of touched on, because I was thinking while you're talking,
Yeah.
what are my advices?
Yeah.
And I'll just start with that one since you touched that, in the sense where first, really research what you want to do. Make it you. As you said, like for me running a magazines, I've had a lot of people message me that, hey, I see you doing great with your magazine. I would like to start a magazine. And then I start asking them, because like for me, the person I am, which is another point that I was going to make, which I'll just tie it into this, where find a mentor in the area that you want to go in. Find somebody who has a business in that area where you can pick their brain, ask questions. So I'm the type of person where I believe in sharing information. There is nothing I do that somebody asks me and I say, I'm not going to tell them because, they're going to use it again or get better than me. No. For me, it's information, and I'm that type of person where I learn better and I feel better sharing. So going back, somebody asked me that, hey, I see your magazine doing great. I love it. You make me want to start a magazine. And I was like, okay, cool. Thanks for the compliments. So now I started asking questions as to, what type of magazine you want to start. Is it a digital magazine or a print magazine? I was asking those different questions, and the person keeps saying, I don't know, just anything. I don't know, just anything. But I'm like, as I said to him, say, no, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Because right away, you're setting up yourself a failure, because you want to do it because I inspire you, which is fine. Inspiration is great. But then to not know why you want to do it, what direction you want to take it. What is your what is your identity, what is your style, what is your vibe.
Yeah.
They know none of those stuff. So I was like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Take it from me.
Yeah.
Don't do it. So it's finding something. If you're an artist, start a business in that field. If you're a chef, start a business in that field. Don't be a chef and because you doing makeup and I see, a lot of people responding to your brand and a lot of influencers or celebrities working with you, then I'm like, you know what? I love cooking and I'm great at it, but because I see her doing makeup and her makeup is doing great, I'm just gonna put aside what I love and do it because I want to be famous like her and I want to make money. No. What I always say to people is, and what has worked for me of having a business over 12 years, actually celebrating 10 years, but more so 12, is because I focus on the product. It is my feel, it is my comfort zone. You mentioned about going outside your comfort zone, but sometimes you have to identify what you're great at.
No, when I say go
What
out of your comfort zone, it's not like that. I'm saying comfort. Like a lot of people want to leave. Like
Yeah,
they want to
yeah,
start their
yeah, I
business, but they're
understand.
scared. That's the comfort I'm
Right.
talking about.
But what I'm saying, so my comfort zone is what you're great at, what you're comfortable with, if you close your eyes, you can, because right now I can close my eyes and still design or come up with concept. When you're great at it, now you can put in all the work, all the energy, all the excitement into that and create something great. Because I know that there are hundreds or thousands of other magazines out there, but what stands out about mine is my touch, my feel, my eye, my direction, my passion, my love, my commitment to that product and making it the best. So that is my first advice. Do that. And then, as I say, approach other people in the same field who has more information and more experience. Get advice from them that can help you and just enjoy it. Enjoy it. My thing is, if you're not enjoying it, if it's really, we spoke about mental health last week, but if it's really driving you in that direction where mental is affecting you, take a break from it.
Yeah, and then
Step back from it. Assess if it is making sense. It's always okay to
start over.
one word I won't use is quit. I won't say quit,
it's okay
but
to
it's
start over.
okay to stop something or give up something, but move on to something else. Don't stop and give up and just sit down and say, okay, you know what, I'm done.
Because
You can always stop something and move on to something else because you're still continuing your business of entrepreneurship, but in a different area.
So I find this with myself, right? I love makeup. I love, doing makeup. I love being in my business. But what I find that I love is coming up with the concepts and coming up with the ideas
Right.
of the business, the back end side of my business. I realize I love the back end side of my business than the face value of my business.
Right.
I love creating stuff. I love, and that's the thing too. Sometimes with a makeup, because I'm in makeup, so I'm talking about where I am. With a cosmetic brand, because I'm still struggling with this. With a cosmetic brand, guys, you have to have good financial backative because every season you got to come up with new campaigns. You got to come up with new this, new that. You have to have a diverse, and I'm still working on those things to show, like, my brand is very diverse, but it's not reflected. Basically, it's not shown. So I'm working on that. There's a lot of things in the back end I'm working on my business to make it up, like, to make it work alongside the giants like Fenty and those bigger brands.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you're gonna start a makeup company, you have to, one, be consistent. And I'm learning that. I'm talking to you guys, but I'm also talking to myself. You know what I mean?
Right. I get that.
Like, you gotta make sure you have your campaigns. Like, right now, I already have my summer campaign in my head, my fall campaign for next year in my head, because this year was a lot of things happened this year. You know what I mean? You always have to be ahead. Just like with Fashion Week, they're ahead. You always have to be ahead. Every season, Valentine's Day, Halloween, you always have to be on top of your game when it comes to makeup. So it can be expensive.
Right.
So my advice, if you want to start out with a makeup company, don't do what I did. Start out with a product like just lipsticks. And when you see that's working, then you can always add product, guys. In any business, you can always
You can
add
always add,
products.
yeah.
So just start out with one category, right? Are you them I look for?
No,
start out with one. Start out with one category, guys.
hopefully not.
Right? And then you can always add. So for every new season, you add a new category or a new
Right.
product or whatever. So that's the mistake I made. I started with everything, a full line. And
Yeah,
it's quite
yeah. I
expensive.
remember you telling me that.
Yeah, it's quite expensive. I did it the most expensive way, and I wish I had done it the way I'm explaining.
So now you're passing on
Yeah, I'm
that
passing on.
information and
Yeah,
experience to people
yeah. And
on
trust
how
me,
to
you
do
can
it.
start with 2 shades of lipstick,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah, and
they
it
sell
kind of
it.
goes back to what I spoke about just creating a brand identity, great presentation, even if it's two products.
Product, yeah.
If it's great, if it looks great, it's actually great. People
People
gonna
will
buy
buy
it,
it, yeah.
and then you can add on to it. Don't say, oh, because it's only two product, it won't make sense. I have to have a full line.
Yeah, and because for example with makeup, it's not easy for people to just switch to an like not, I wouldn't say unknown, like a brand that they're not comfortable with. You know what I mean? So I strongly do recommend starting with at least 2 products. And sometimes you start the business and you realize it's not for you. You're probably better at something else, and it's okay. It's okay to start from scratch. It's okay to start over, because I've tried so many businesses. Not everything clicked. You know what I mean? And
I still am trying
I'm
different
still
stuff.
trying. I will never stop trying, because as a creative, we're always gonna try. We're always gonna come up with new ideas. Like
As
you
it
know
talk
what I mean?
about that, so which I guess probably ties in. If somebody, because JSB is your baby,
Yeah.
if somebody approach you now to buy JSB from you, would you sell it?
If the price is if it's a reasonable, if it's a respectable amount, yeah, because if you come and offer me $100,000 for JSB, that's disrespectful.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if it's a respect, I'll take it for $1,000,000. Because
But,
I can
okay,
always
you know
start
what?
over and
Yeah,
do
because
something.
the reason why I asked that is because as entrepreneurs, we oftentimes become attached
No,
to
you
our
should. No, you
business
shouldn't.
to a fault when which we see that it's failing, but then because it's our business, we go down with the ship.
No.
Or we might get a great offer for it, but we're like, no, I'm not selling it because I put in a lot of work and this is my baby and all of that stuff. So that's why I asked, because
No, listen. Even if my business is, the shit, which it is the shit. JSB is the
yeah,
JSB
you always
is.
have to think that.
You know what I mean? JSB is amazing. Visit our website. You get 20% off using code FALL 2022. But honestly though, like, I am not attached to JSB like that, because I can always create something else.
Something else, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like right now I want to design like sweats and hoodies and stuff. I have a company called Bad Girl Co on Instagram. I haven't started doing anything yet, but I just
because
it's just an
I think entrepreneurship and business in a whole, it's a cycle, it's a life cycle, it's a whole
Yeah.
process, because you start, you develop, you grow.
You move on.
Sometimes you move on.
Yeah.
Sometimes it stays with you forever. Sometimes you can keep it
Yeah.
and add different
Because for
businesses and stuff like that. Like say like Jeff Bezos, he have Amazon. Now he have Blue Origin,
Yeah.
which is space, and he has a ton of other
But look at the
companies.
Kardashians. They had, before Kim had Skims, she had a lot of
Yeah.
other stuff.
And I'm sure
And
she has businesses that has failed,
yeah,
but
she keeps moving forward. forward.
And
The
that's the
goal
thing
is to
about
keep
business.
moving forward.
Sometimes you try things and it just
And it
don't
just don't
work out. You
work.
just move on from it and try something else. The point is not giving up when you see something feel like, oh, probably entrepreneurship is not for me. Probably business is not for me. I'm gonna go back to 95. No, just keep trying. You'll find something. You'll find something that
Something
sticks,
will click.
something
Listen,
that works.
it will click. I used to sell vitamins, okay, for the greatest
I
vitamins
got
in the
scammed with
world.
that stuff.
I got scammed with it. Was a scam, right?
I
I
got
had to pay
scammed once.
$500.
I remember
Got
one
a
time
bunch of
I needed the
vitamins.
money that bad, and which one was it? I think it was the Amway thing I signed up
Listen,
for.
I
I paid over
tried.
$1,000, and then after I paid it, I didn't see or hear from the guys again.
You understand?
I was like,
So
what the
I've
hell?
tried so many things and I've failed at so many. Well, I didn't fail. I learned and I grew from a lot of
Yeah.
things. I've never failed, guys. I've always learned and move on. Like failure is like completely giving up. I've never given up on
Yeah.
anything.
I mean, failure is fine. I think I would.
It's okay to
I think
fail,
I've
but I
failed,
think
but it's sometimes failure in that sense. The sense, okay, then, all right, this is not for me. Let me try something
I
else.
feel like that's learning. Like
Right.
okay, you failed at the project, but you didn't stay in your failure. You
You
learn and
moved
you
on from
moved
it
on
and got to
and become
something
better
else
and
better.
start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like you completely fail when you completely like this is it. I'm
All
done.
right. So, in wrapping up, because I mean we could go on all day
know,
about this,
guys.
but what is your final word on the whole topic of just put everything together in one? What is your
My
final thought
final
on entrepreneurship and 9 to 5?
my final thought is if 9 to 5 is what you want to do and you want to grow that corporate ladder, stick to it and be the best at it.
Right.
Even if you're sweeping the street and that's what you love to do, be the best street sweeper.
That's
Be
true.
the best garbage man. Be the best at anything you are doing. And if you want to go into the world of entrepreneurship, own your own business, keep moving forward. Give it your best shot. Don't give up because because owning your business is not easy. It's the hardest thing in the world unless you're lucky. You know what I mean? Like some people. Don't give up. Be the best at it. Be the best. You can only determine your best by giving your best. You know what I mean?
Amen.
Only your best is good enough.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, my final thought would be just take some time with yourself. Shut out all the outside noise. Shut out what other people doing. Just shut everything off.
Yeah.
Get a moment with yourself and decide what do you want to do. Because it's not a right or wrong. It's not a good or bad. You understand? Both have its place. Both works. Both can get you to the promised land, so to speak. You know, but at the end of the day, it's what you can go to bed and sleep peacefully about. It's what you can say, you know what? This is what I love. This is what I wanted to do. And I'm 100% fine with it. So I will never ever see somebody doing a 9 to 5 or work for a company and think, oh, he's less than me or oh, he don't have no ambition or whatever. No. As you said, be the best
At anything
at anything you do, but at the same time, it's what you're comfortable with, what you can go to bed and sleep peacefully at night.
That's why I say
with.
that's if you want to.
And whatever your talent, because it's they always say work smarter, not harder. Why would you put a lot of work into something that you're really not good at? Where in which you know something you're good at, but because it's probably not fancy or glamorous, and those stuff are subjective because a lot of people think, you know, having a magazine and all that stuff is glamorous. Yes, it is,
The
but
finished product is glamorous.
there is a side of it that isn't, and I'll tell you, you have to be built a particular way to deal with it. So it's once you figure out what you want to do, then go full force. If as you say, corporate ladder, say, all right, you know what?
I'm gonna climb
I'm
that
starting
ladder.
as a janitor, but I'm gonna end up the VP or the CEO or COO or whatever it is.
And it's possible.
Put in that manifestation, if you want to call it, put in that goal,
And work.
and then just get the excitement, get the energy, enjoy the process. Enjoy the process, because if you start at level 1 and just dreaming and focusing every day on level 10,
You will not enjoy the process.
you won't get to level 10, because you need focus and hard work for level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up. All levels demands that level of commitment and work. So set the goal, work toward it. Same thing with a business. You figure out what you want to do, figure out your direction, your niche, what you're good at, what you'll be successful at. You go at it. You put in the work, you do your research. Do your research. Get all the information you can. There's so much information out there. If gathering the information by yourself, it's not making sense to you, find somebody in the same area that is willing to help you. Don't depend on them to push your business or do the work for you. It's really them giving you direction.
And don't compare yourself.
Don't compare.
People.
Just focus on your work, focus on your business, get the help, get the information, do the right things. Do the right things, follow the correct business procedures. Don't try to evade tax or evade certain things. Push it where you can. If you can get the exemptions, the write-offs, and all that stuff, get that. But follow the law. Do everything the right way. Protect yourself. Protect your business. Cover your business. And enjoy it. Enjoy it. And that's, in a nutshell, my advice. I can't tell you anything else but that.
And real quick, guys, honestly, not every friend and family will support you, so do not rely on friends and family.
That's
you
a
have
good
the
one.
whole world to
That's
support
a good
you.
one.
Okay,
That,
so that's important to know.
That stifles a lot of people,
Yeah.
because when they don't see their close friends or family support them, they just write off the entire, like, oh, nobody. No. As I said, focus on the work.
Yeah.
Put good product out there. You will get your return. People love it. People say it. So, guys, this was a very
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed
Great
our conversation today.
topic.
No cards, no
card.
questions.
And that's why I'm like, we could just go on,
Yeah.
but all good things
Yeah, but it
must
was
come to an end.
It was a good topic, and I really enjoyed talking about it, because honestly, we both put in work in our business. Guys, today's episode was sponsored by JSP Cosmetic and Elements Media. Visit my website www.jspcosmetic.com. You get a 20% discount using code Paul
Plug it.
2022.
Yeah.
Okay.
Elements Magazine on Instagram,
Yes.
YouTube, wherever you.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Wanna like, share? Listen to me.
Yes.
Wanna like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, we need the likes, we need the shares, we need a subscription, because it helps us and it helps you as well to get. So we have a lot of, amazing contents that's coming. So we want you to know when it releases and stuff. So thanks, guys, for listening, and I hope we provided great, positive, and helpful information.
Yep.
So if you're trying to start a business, jump at it. If you need any advice or help or experience, you can ask us. We'll share. We're not afraid to share information and or experiences.
Don't forget to interact with us in the comments, guys. We love the interactions.
And with that said, peace out.
Peace in the middle.